What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now I'm back with my original series, Boxing Ego's First Look, a tale of the tape, a sneak peek, a preview of the fight before the fight. Now, a fight that I'm really looking forward to gearing up for is IBF champion ERROL Spence Jr., aka The Truth, versus his #1 mandatory, Carlos Ocampo. And it should be a good fight. It's happening in Dallas. Hometown feel-good fight for ERROL Spence Jr. at the Star, the Ford Center, where the Cowboys practice at, the Dallas Cowboys. Should be a good fight. ERROL Spence, what can I say? He's received a lot of high praise from fans, trainers, Hall of Famers like Freddie Roach. He's gotten high praise from Floyd Mayweather. Adrian Broner sparred him and said good things about him. Lamont Peterson, his last opponent, sparred with him previously. He's a 2012 Olympian, and he seems to be growing in hunger and growing in confidence. That's what I really like about this fight. I think he's deserving of a hometown fight. If you remember last year, he had been pressing Kell Brook for a while, trying to get his mandatory shot. He kept climbing up the ranks first, and then he became the #1 mandatory for Kell Brook's IBF belt. Then champion Kell Brook out of the UK, signed with Matchroom. And he had been calling him out for a while, and he was extremely patient in that scenario. Very patient, waiting for his opportunity and his moment to shine. And Kell Brook did accept the fight after moving up to middleweight to fight Gennady Golovkin. He did come back down after that loss to Triple G, and he took on his mandatory. There was a lot of pressure. Channels like myself covered this intently. And Kell Brook, I don't know what he felt about him before. He did compare him to Jeff Lacey and I guess suggest that he was Kawasaki. And I think he got a newfound respect for him after the fight, because ERROL Spence not only went to Kell Brook's backyard of Sheffield, England, but he stopped him. And he did something even Golovkin didn't do, which is knock down Kell Brook. So just to see Kell Brook put up a spirited effort, a valiant effort. ERROL Spence never looked like he was going to go down, and he got through that early part of the storm, some rounds that were close or rounds he was losing, and to win the battle of attrition in a man's backyard was very impressive. You have to keep in mind, when he fought against Kell Brook in Sheffield, he was on a 9-month layoff, if I'm not mistaken. Kell Brook sustained an eye injury in the first fight with Gennady Golovkin, and he had a medical extension that forced him to not defend right away after the middleweight showdown with Triple G in that payday. So that being said, ERROL Spence wasn't going to do anything to ruin his chance or not get his title shot, so he just stayed on the sidelines waiting for his moment to become champion. And then when he fought Kell Brook, he did just that, hurting Kell Brook's other eye. So a very good fight. Carlos Ocampo, I don't know as much about him. He's undefeated. He's ranked with the IBF. He's the mandatory. They did the press conference to kick off this fight, and he's taller than ERROL Spence Jr. And the good thing I like about boxing is the theater of the unknown. Sometimes you have to expect the unexpected. Recently, one division up at the 154-pound division, we seen a late replacement to Liam Smith, and that was Jaime Munguia, who's out of TJ. And he beat then champion Saddam Ali, and he did it in brutal fashion. So I'm not saying or indicating that's what's going to happen here. However, it's boxing. Just because you haven't heard of a guy doesn't mean that he's not coming to scrap. Again, I've seen some interviews recently with Ocampo. He sounded confident, like I said, physical from a physicality, which we'll get more to when we do the tale of the tape. Physicality, he's a bit taller. And the good thing of these A-side, B-side type matchups where we know the clear favorite is the B-sides come in to fight because they want to be the one that makes the noise. Beating ERROL Spence in his first big fight where he's the main event in Dallas, that would make headlines. That would be big because Errol Spence, a lot of people are talking about him fighting Terrence Crawford. I just covered Crawford's last fight. Last fight, he looked sensational versus Jeff Horn. So he's a new player and a new champion at the welterweight division. So some people are already looking past Ocampo and writing him off. So of course he's going to want to play spoiler. Now, does he have the skills to do that? We're going to find out this Saturday. The fight will be on Showtime Boxing, but I like it. The implications are huge because, like I said, people are already looking to the future and hoping for Errol Spence versus the winner of Danny Garcia versus Sean Porter. Or if Keith Thurman comes back and faces the winner of that, then Errol Spence fight the winner, or Errol Spence to fight Keith Thurman. Or again, if they can make it happen with the dueling promoters, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. So the 147-pound division is stacked. Again, Errol Spence Jr. seems to be growing when it comes to confidence. He's fighting at home. And I've talked to a lot of great fighters, including guys like Andre Ward, and they've told me personally, like, it's not what you think. Just because you are fighting at home doesn't mean it's going to be easy. He said a lot of people have a problem with me fighting at home in Oakland, but it doesn't mean it's going to be an easy fight. And I understand what he's talking about totally, because sometimes when guys fight at home, they make more mistakes. Let's say they get their opponent hurt, but you're so eager to impress your friends, family, and your local community in your town, and people you went to school with and grew up, you might make a mistake and then you get caught. Now you're hurt, you're buzzed. Or you might act a certain way and not clinch because you're trying to go out on your shield because it's all your people in the crowd. The people that are from your surrounding area. So doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be an easy fight. I'm not just saying that to build up the fight. That's what I do believe. Obviously, Errol Spence will be the favorite here. And ultimately, I'm looking for a good fight to see. I haven't seen Errol Spence headline the main event at home, so we'll see how he embraces this challenge. Now let's take a look at the tail of the tape. IBF champion Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. has a perfect, unblemished record of 23-0. He remains undefeated, and he's also facing an undefeated opponent, very similar in terms of the amount of fights they've had. Carlos Ocampo has an unbeaten record of 22-0. However, Errol Spence has clearly fought the better competition. He's been in there with the likes of Kell Brook when he was the champion. He's been in there with Chris Algieri, a guy who had faced Pacquiao, Ruslan Provodnikov. He's been in there with Lamont Peterson. He sparred with Lamont Peterson, Floyd Mayweather. So this would be a step up in terms of class for Carlos Ocampo. Age: Carlos Ocampo is 6 years younger than Errol Spence Jr. He's 22 years old, very young. This could be an advantage, or the wisdom and the experience of 2012 Olympian Errol Spence, who is 28 years old, could come into play. Now the height is very close. Errol Spence is 5'9.5". He's listed at 5'9.5". Carlos Ocampo is an inch taller at 5'10.5". So we'll see. As far as the weight, this is for the IBF welterweight strap. This will take place at 147 pounds, welterweight for Errol Spence's IBF strap, as long as they both make that contracted weight. Now, the reach: Errol Spence has the same reach as Floyd Mayweather, 72 inches. As far as Ocampo, his reach was not available at the moment, so we're going to find out. And see, this is, again, one of what could be a good side for your opponent is sometimes it's hard to find tape on these guys. You don't know their reach. You don't know everything about them, so they may surprise you. And you can't always judge someone's power by their box rec. So the fact that this information isn't available with Carlos Ocampo's reach creates a mystery. Now he's gonna have to figure out his reach when he gets in the ring. I'm looking forward to this fight. Hometown feel-good fight. I really want to see how Errol Spence Jr. performs on this stage with this crowd. It's one thing to go to another man's crowd like Kell Brook and go to UK and travel and deal with jet lag and travel time and stuff like that, but to see how he functions at home, if the pressure gets to him, if he looks better than ever and looks like a complete monster, that's what I'm checking for. Showtime Boxing. Make sure you guys tune in. It's about to go down. They also have fights like Javier Fortuna, Adrian Granados on this card, and some other bouts. Make sure you get down to Texas if you live in the surrounding area. There's still tickets available on SeatGeek. Check it out. That is the tale of tape Boxingego first look style. Let me know who you think will win and what do you think will happen in this particular fight. Let me know in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Until next video, it's Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.